Ask Chopper, Ask Chopper, Ask
I'm gonna have to make an ask a chop up
Ask the Chopper,
intro.
Ask the Chopper, Ask the Chopper,
Y'all come on in, come on in. Yes, this is the
Ask the
chop
Chopper,
up.
Ask the Chopper.
You
Yeah,
are
man.
not confused. Your phone is not tripping. It
Yeah, man.
is 1:16 on a Wednesday, and this is the chop up.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying. Shout out to you know what I'm saying. The I feel like the most elaborate of us three, Toya G. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying. We got some scheduling things, so we want to make it where y'all can just go out without 2 weeks. You feel me? We're just having no chop up at all. And I'll be celebrating my 6 year anniversary this weekend, so I'm gonna be gone. So you feel me? Yeah, we're a little early, man. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Nah, really, and it was this is Toya's birthday month, really birthday
You feel me?
week. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So,
Okay, we
she doing her thing. She doing her thing, celebrating. So, trying to catch. Coalesce all of this together has been a little difficult. But the way we looking at it is like we're gonna give y'all something for this week. You know what I mean? Until we able to
ask
come
the
back
chopper. Ask the
uh,
chopper. I feel like
and
there's
break
a
it
lot of
down.
times that people in the comment sections kind of ask random questions, or maybe there's times we've had conversations and you didn't get to ask the question you wanted to ask. I guess excluding questions you would want to ask Toya specifically. You know what I'm saying? If you want to ask any questions you have for me and the political plug, you know what I'm saying? Definitely happy Pride Month as well. You know what I'm saying? Happy Juneteenth, happy belated Father's Day. So I'm saying everybody out there,
Yeah, so really we're gonna do, you know what I'm saying, ask the chopper. We ain't gonna keep y'all too long, you feel me? But please, any questions that y'all wanna ask, anything y'all want us to break down, we can get into that. But y'all know we gotta start the show the same way that we always start the show. Like just because it's gonna be a condensed version, it's still the same. Let's get it.
Me, my guys, we really live. Lord, forgive me, pay my tithes. Please don't have me reach inside. And that's in the console. Keep the semi when I ride. Lit off Henny when I drive. In the city, we gon' slide. Bet I be there pronto.
You know what time it is. It's the Chop Up Show. It's your boy, the Conscious Lee, George Lee. Don't forget the Lee. GeorgeLeeSpeaks.com, where you can find me at for all the workshops, professional development, diversity and inclusion. You know what I'm saying? That's where you can find it. I also do consulting and keynote speaking, and you know what I'm saying? I host as well. Holla at your boy.
Yeah. And it is the political plug, Damo. We in here very early on, y'all. This is a it's a Wednesday, 1:19 out here on the West Coast. But we getting it in, man. We got a lot coming up this week, you know what I'm saying, in the personal lives. So we're gonna bring y'all something today real quick, just so we can not leave y'all without the chop up for too long. You know what I mean? We missed last week. So today what we doing is ask the chop up. You know what I mean? George and I, we feel like we know some things, and if y'all wanted any perspective or anything y'all wanted to ask us and get our perspective on, today's the day to do it. We actually got one comment or one question already in there from King Kivo, which is a great place to get it started. What's the opinion on them giving Juneteenth national spotlight? George, go ahead, start it out, bro.
For me, man, I feel like I got mixed feelings on it because I think that like a part of me feel like it's long overdue for it to have been, made a holiday. It should have been made a holiday a long time ago. But I think the timing of it becoming a holiday right now, with everything that's going on with all the performative activism and corporate companies and mainstream being able to monetize all the pain and suffering of Black folks on the back end, and they already profited off our pain and suffering on the front end. You know what I'm saying? To me, I feel like that's the mixed feelings part about it. It's been a whole bunch of black businesses that's been able to sell T-shirts and sell, different paraphernalia for us to be able to celebrate Juneteenth. And now they're gonna get washed out because you're gonna be able to go buy you a $5 or $6 T-shirt and say Happy Juneteenth or free-ish or whatever from Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I even seen Old Navy had it, a big time kind of thing. And then the second thing or whatever, is the critical race theory part. To me, as an educator and as as a person that really understands critical race theory, that actually study critical race theory, they can name you a couple books and a couple authors of critical race theory. It's a big ass contradiction in us being able to acknowledge Juneteenth as a national holiday at the same time banning critical race theory as a national holiday, because it's like we teach our students that Emancipation Proclamation It's the piece of legislation that freed the slaves. But then when you celebrating Juneteenth, I think you're gonna be put in a weird ass position if you in a state that's outlaw critical race theory or that's outlaw, you know what I'm saying? You talking about race at all, and you trying to talk about how the Emancipation Proclamation didn't do what it was supposed to do, and you have to wait till Union soldiers in Galveston, Texas, for them to go down there and tell them that. You feel me? Yeah, theory, we definitely early. Shout out to Toya G. Happy birthday, you know what I'm saying? To my OG, to my big sis, you feel me? You know what I mean? Today we doing the Ask the Chop Up, you know what I'm saying? So if there ever been questions you want to ask us, you know, I guess that's the question you want to ask Toya specifically. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because there's a few conversations that we want to have that we definitely want her here to have.
Yeah, make sure we're here to have. So we ain't gonna have those. But we will have a conversation about Tyler, the 12-year-old that was abused for being gay in Atlanta, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? It's an update on that situation for y'all that want to know. He has been removed from the home. I think that as a community, we can talk about the cycle of the foster care and being in foster home. There has been a GoFundMe set up. You can go, you know what I'm saying, to Hope Giselle's page, or I think I can't even think of I think her last name Ward. I can't think of his first name or whatever. I think Karen Ward, you feel me? They're at Instagrams. They have a GoFundMe set up that, you know what I'm saying, that's that you get to. And we also want to have a conversation about consent and coercion. And I think that both of those conversations would not
require Toya be a part of this conversation.
Like it'll be
and plus her perspective is always dope anyway. So it's like why not have that? But in terms of my perspective on Juneteenth, getting that national spotlight, here's the thing. Not only do you have these efforts to kind of demonize and criminalize critical race theory, Republicans just filibustered the For the People Act, and it was a piece of legislation that was created to protect the voting rights of citizens in different states. Now, currently, states have pretty much have a free way to kind of operate elections how they choose to operate elections. You feel me? But what has been happening currently is that there are certain states that are actively operating to disenfranchise the minority and actually poor citizens. Like, for example, what happened in 2016 that had to do with North Carolina when they were sued by the NAACP. That they were actually the appeals court literally pointed out how the state's only reason for enacting these laws were to disenfranchise their black voters. So this piece of legislation was created to create some type of federal guidelines associated with voting, so that states dictated by Republicans who are pushing these efforts to undermine the right for black people to vote, it's supposed to hedge against that. But Republicans who are actively using the restrictive voting law effort in order to undermine the ballots of black people, they filibustered it. They got up there, ran out the clock.
Conservative contradictions.
You know what I'm saying? They pretty much ran out the clock. And so at the same time, while we're recognizing Juneteenth as a federal holiday, we have an entire faction that operates in government that's solely built, you know what I mean, to undermine black people, right? Republicans are actively working to undermine the enfranchisement of black people, you feel me? And it's playing out while we have all these celebrations, while we have all these performative acts of liberalism, you feel me? These progressive gestures. But I mean, if you can't protect the rights for black people to vote, like you can't do shit for us.
Definitely.
So that was my opinion on that. The next question, how y'all feel? Yeah. How y'all feel about Candace Owens not wanting to debate Kim?
Terry Robinson. Yeah, I'm about to say I had to look up who Kim Klacik is, but like she Republican, so I'll be interested in knowing what the angle they trying to debate on. You know what I'm saying? Like
Kim Klacik. Let me see.
Yeah, I looked up. You feel me? You know what I mean? She a black Republican woman as well. I definitely be interested on what angle would they be debating on. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know about none of that. You feel me?
Let's see why they feuding. According to Newsweek, Owens, she created controversy when she brought up Dr. Fauci. Where's the beef? How'd the feud begin? The feud between Owens and Klacik appears to have begun on Friday, June 18th, when the former tweeted that President Joe Biden making Juneteenth a federal holiday was the Democrats trying to repackage segregation. In several tweets posted after Biden signed the bill officially making June 19th a national holiday, Owens said she would be celebrating Independence Day on July 4th, but not Juneteenth, which commemorates the day that the last slaves were told they were free in 1865. In a now deleted tweet on June 18th, Klacik quote tweeted a post from Owens that said, "Sometimes I wonder when, if ever, Black America will wake up to the psychological warfare and perpetual brainwash to believe everything is racist." Klacik wrote in a reply to the tweet, "Believe it or not, many in Black America are very aware that the fight is classism rather than racism. Unfortunately, the loudest mouths with the largest platforms represent the majority. This might come to a shock to you because of the lack of engagement, your lack of engagement with Black people." Owens did not reply to the tweet, and Klacik explained to a Twitter user who later claimed that Candace's grip is too strong, that she deleted her post as she decided I would just prove it rather than talking about it on Twitter. So essentially, what she kind of reversed racism to her ass, bro.
Yep.
Kim Klacik reversed racism to her ass. She said, "Bitch, everything ain't about like everything ain't about racism. Why you jumping to call the Democrats racist? You doing the same thing that the Democrats do." Like, so she really kind of pulling her conservatism card, bro. She really I mean, to be honest, like,
how I feel about that, cool. I'll be entertained by it, I guess. I see the sound clips from it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even. I'm sure I wouldn't even be impressed by the sound clips. I think this though. I think like these types of, again, when you have people operating in that same Democrat versus Republican space, that same nonsense conversation, even Republican versus Republican, that's not us. That's not for us. We like that shit is not, you know what I'm saying, to no benefit. You know what I mean? Like the conversation that they having, really it's not even the actual beef. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think from really what it looked like, Kim Klacik is trying to, you know what I'm saying, she could be accused of clout chasing. She could be accused of clout chasing. But not something that I'd be wholly interested in, though, for real. George.
Yeah, Janice Johnston. You know what I'm saying? As consciously, why do you always comment on negative energy Candace Owens says about Black people? Is annoying when people continue to post her ignorance and she continue to stay relevant. Janice, what I think about that right there is that Candace Owens is already kind of being circulated. So I feel like my perspective on her, you know what I'm saying, what you're characterizing as being negative energy, I think that it's required. And I think that Candace Owens been somebody that talks about facts over feelings, that always talks about research, that always talks about being able to be logical and being commonsensical and being practical and pragmatic, things like that. I think that, you feel me, she should be able to stand hold to some criticisms that are also coming with logic, research, and, you know what I'm saying, facts over feelings type shit. You feel me? I hope that answers your question, and thank you for your question.
I mean, but I also think that ultimately, when you have people that have these types of platforms, it's necessary to have the pushback, because the same voice is dominating. Like, you constantly hearing this, like you're hearing the people with the most influence instead of actually kind of hearing both sides. And that's, I mean, really, that's why you end up having so many people thinking Candace Owens is right, because they don't hear shit else. Like, people really. It'll surprise you how often people make shit make sense in their head, and when it's just a little bit of scrutiny, it all collapses, right? Because you ain't took in no other information to be able to solidify that, right? It's like you haven't questioned any part of it, so when a motherfucker question it, you confused. You feel me? That's the type of people that follow Candace Owens. That's the type of people.
Into now that now shout out to Iggy. Now that Iggy didn't say what about to say, then came in and said what that. I think that now that I guess understand the question a little bit differently, you know what I'm saying? I think that the necessary pushback, I think it's a necessary pushback, especially with me, that having a little bit of a platform compared to her big platform, but having a little bit of platform, it's important to give logical pushback to what she's saying. You feel me? A lot of times she gets to use the different dog whistles in a lot of pseudo intellectual ass ways of being able to find statistics and find claims to talk about Black people. You feel me? I just happen to be a trained debater and happen to be an educator and happen to be a professor. So I think that people like me should be ones that's pushing back. You know what I'm saying? I think that she uses a lot of pathological ways when she does usually engage Black people, when she get to use tropes of calling them emotional or, you know what I'm saying, like really pathologizing them.
Yeah.
When I'm already hip, that she's already evoking emotion when she uses and talks with the particular thing she's talking to from the lens she's talking about. You feel me? So I think that negative energy has to be, you know what I'm saying, shit, acknowledged as what it is, negative energy. Because if you be real, when she's talking about what she's talking about, and people sharing what she's sharing, half of it is not negative energy or how you're looking at it. Half of it looking at it like this is truth that Black people don't want to hear.
Yeah, and that's the worst part of it. Because when you able to say that, right, like you able to kind of create a barrier between people trying to like push back to that nonsense.
Yeah. And
I think when like, especially when you're dealing with somebody like myself or like George, like the whole education portion is the most important. So even if I'm not directly talking to Candace Owens, people that talk to people that are informed by Candace Owens also need like the artillery. They need the weaponry. You know what I'm saying? They need the resources to be able to respond. So when they not on the internet but having real conversations with people that's bringing that shit to them, they need to know how to respond to that shit.
Definitely.
You feel me? They need to be. They really need to have to be equipped with the language to be able to look at how Candace Owens frames things, the straw man that she create, right? The racist dog whistles that George talked about. Be able to recognize that, call that shit out, and then and functionally undermine what those type of people try to bring, because also like that's how people, and it's fucked up to say this, but for some reason like Black people, that's stupid. I ain't even no reason to say for some reason. Black people have been convinced that shitting on Black people makes you sound smart.
Off the real.
Black people have been convinced that if you like, yo, this is what's wrong with Black people, you should be applauded.
Definitely.
So it's really about being like prepared, like being prepared to respond to that. Because a nigga gonna get on his high horse. See, that's what's wrong with these niggas out here. Whether we talking about finances, whether we talking about relationships, whether it's whatever. Black people don't know how to spend money. Right? Black people don't know how to take care of families. Right? Black people don't know how to be leaders. Right? Like all of those type of conversations, like make niggas feel like I got it. I figured it out. And everybody else is just scared to say it. That's why they're not saying it. No, motherfucker, they're not saying it because it's not true. You know what I'm saying? That's why. You feel me? Shout out to Iggy. We got any other questions in the chat? We don't really got nothing else for the time being. We'll rock out for a little bit longer, man.
Definitely.
But what I will say is, while I got the time, if y'all are looking for some interesting debates, competitive debates on YouTube, right? Go to Solar Vision Debate League on YouTube. Like if you looking for some shit like think battle rap meets debate. Solar Vision Debate League on YouTube. That shit is dope. I compete over there. Yeah. George be over there with the beating up on them white folk on TikTok. I got some partners, you know what I'm saying? I got some Hebrew partners. You feel me? Black power partners. It's all them type of conversations over there in a debate format. You feel me? Niggas go over there, fuck with that. It's tough.
One of them to challenge me?
You said what?
I said one of them to challenge me to a debate?
Nigga, you know they want the smoke though. You know, hey, nigga, of course. You know they want the smoke though.
I'll be down, man. We'll, you know what I'm saying? We have to talk about, you feel me? Like what, you know what I mean? Have to be on both our pages at the same time type shit. You feel me?
Yeah,
but, I'll be down with that, you know?
Yeah. We'll holler at Solomon. You know what I'm saying? That's my homie that run the league on YouTube. But that's Solar Vision Debate League. It's lit. The playoffs is going on right now. It's actually like a league type format. The playoffs is cracking. I just actually had a playoff debate on Juneteenth. I debated what would have a bigger impact if all Black people voted or if all Black people held their vote. You know what I'm saying? So it was an interesting conversation. Of course, I took the side that it would be a bigger impact if all Black people voted. It was a very interesting dialogue because I was able to highlight some statistics to show like Now, George, did you know that 95% of district attorneys in this country are white?
Yeah.
It
I
makes
know the
sense.
exact
Right?
number, but it makes definitely.
Now, check this out. When we talking about the criminal justice system in this last election, who was niggas harping about the most?
President.
The president.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if the district attorney got that much more of an impact than fucking Joe Biden, why are we wasting our time talking about Joe Biden and his past in criminal justice when it's a motherfucker sitting there that you don't know their name, don't know who they are, and they got the most influence and power on who get locked up in your community? Because I actually looked up a study that studied the impact of minority district attorneys in certain areas, and we see that per 100,000 citizens, having a black district attorney reduces the incarceration rates or disparity between black and white citizens. So it's interesting conversations like that take place. You feel me? So y'all come fuck with us over there, Solar Vision Debate League on YouTube.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
George ain't the only nigga that be debating shit. I beat that nigga when we debated.
No, we did. No, we did.
Hey, niggas voted for Joe Biden. Joe Biden won. Y'all go check that out. Actually, we got some of the y'all look at the hashtag debate me debates.
Hey, I feel like even if you already made the comment, you feel me? Or I mean, they already made the comment, you feel me? I want to be like exactly, but
we do got Janice offer this up another question. Kwame Brown, what do you think about his platform? Should he be responding to negativity or keep his mind on what he's trying to do for black kids, creating various programs? So we actually already spoke on Kwame Brown before. We kind of, I mean, when he first came out, niggas felt his message, but then once you kind of learn more about like his paradigm, his background, niggas kind of knew he going the other way. You feel me? Like the one thing that I don't ever want to take away from like people like Kwame Brown and even people who like black conservatives, right? I feel like everybody has a function. You know what I'm saying? Like if a nigga's actually putting money in the community, if he like you can't take that away from him, and niggas shouldn't undermine that or none of that. But
you know he did do it to Matt Barnes. He
did. But when you can't mix that with like the social media beefs. You feel me? Like that's those things are separate. Because like once you start positioning yourself. Shout out to the MVP.
Mr. Modest over here.
Shout out to the MVP though. But once you start positioning yourself as somebody that's like, I'm like this guru talking about black people, you know what I'm saying, having these conversations, I'm a commentator on blackness and black life, then you kind of position yourself to be scrutinized based on like your ideology and the impact of your ideology on black people. Like you as a person, as a black person, like Kwame Brown, as a black person, may be producing some great things for his community, but his ideology reproduces negative impacts on black communities, and both of those things got to be held into account.
Man, for me, I think that he be saying he says some great things, but I think that not even talking about necessarily his background, but like just in the videos that I've been able to catch, you know what I'm saying, different things that he's been able to say. He also he also a person that love to use dog whistles. You feel me? Like when he went Mill Hill, you know what I'm saying? He talked about, you know, you're using your liberal democratic speaking points. You know what I'm saying?
Dog whistle.
So he talked about, you know what I'm saying, shit, when he was getting into it with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes towards the end, he started talking and started trying to wind them down basically, and he's literally appealing to the to me like the anti-black dispositions that a lot of, you feel me, the white people that I feel like validations he's looking for. The zaddies he talks about, he's looking for zaddy validation when he start talking about some, man, Ain't no white man, ain't no white folks ever talk to me in my life the way that them niggas talk to me. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no new, they the new KKK. Ain't no white person ever this, that, and the other. Them niggas is like to me, that type of psychology is so contradictory, is because you caught everybody's attention by saying that these niggas was doing the white man's bidding, right, by specifically tearing black men down. Right. You feel me? Now, when you got your platform, now you winding down, you feel me? And you starting to say white folks ain't never did nothing to you. But you accusing niggas of doing the white man bidding. That's what got everybody attention to you. You feel me? And that part, right, to me, I thought that was very, I felt like that's the part that was conservative, contradictory, very disingenuous. And then the last thing is when he started talking about, people getting mad at him. Basically what Damo just said, he already knew what was gonna happen in this video I watched. So he tried to goddamn preempt it by bringing up Candace Owens and saying that he's yet to see somebody use logic to be able to disagree with her. And she be saying real shit. This don't come from the black woman y'all want to hear from. And my mind is like, bro, you just thinking them about doing the white man's bidding and bringing niggas down. And then you pulled up Candace Owens. My argument is going to be that Candace Owens shit is structured by doing the white man's bidding, right, that accounts for many things, including bringing black men down. So I just, you know what I'm saying, that's the part to be about, you feel me? That's the catch-22 of his shit, you feel me?
Yeah. And I mean, and when we talk about cognitive dissonance, a lot of times we look at it as just something that means that we can't internalize something that doesn't match with our core beliefs. It actually means, as well, not being able to holding contradicting positions, like holding contradictory beliefs. That's what the conservative contradictions are, right? It's literally, again, having this, like, for example, talking about doing the white man's bidding, all of these other things, but adopting an ideology that pretty much perpetuates the white man's bidding, right? Like the Judge Joe Brown is a white man bidder, like he's an agent of white supremacy.
He's a white supremacist sympathizer.
He an agent of white supremacy. You feel me? Like, so, you know what I mean? And so again, you got all of this smoke for these niggas that's made fun of you for your career. You feel me? But people that literally attach themselves to negative, destructive conversations that have to do with black people are the people that you ride with, or the people that you side with. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. Yeah, that shit get done. That's what niggas don't take that shit serious.
I'm about to say, it was so weird to the point where it's like you always talking about mama's cooking, and you talking about kind of preserving black men on media and shit. And then you invite Judge Joe Brown and y'all start talking shit about Lizzo and Cardi B, where y'all really just deploying respectability politics, being fat phobic and shit, and talking about, you know what I'm saying, slut shaming and shit. You feel me? It's like, hey, regardless contrary popular belief, Cardi B cooking for, she got a kid too. You feel me? You don't care about it. To me, I feel like it's just a lot of shit that just don't sit to me. It's just weird to me. Like, I don't know.
Because a lot of people, when you talk about like respect, like people look at that as like, yeah, what can be bad about respect? So when you say respectability politics, it's like, yeah, what's wrong with being respectable? People don't call into question what it means, like the function of who frames what's considered respectable and what's not, and the danger behind that. And that's what, and people who consider themselves intellects that don't question the underlying foundation of why you believe what you believe, that they're the best agents. They're the best agents because they go so far to push what they understand based on the fact that it's the truth. Ain't no different than religion. There's a faith that what you're saying is because it's what you know, is what you've seen. So there's a faith that this is the underlying truth. The underlying truth. And niggas ain't understanding that shit is situated foundationally by white supremacy.
Hey, and just to give context, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? I was gonna go and explain it to you in an academic way, but you know what, man? I've learned in my social media days try to simplify shit as much as I can, you know. So according to dictionary.com, respectability politics is a set of beliefs holding that conformity to prescribed mainstream standards of appearance and behavior will protect the person who is part of a marginalized group, especially black person, from prejudice and systemic injustices. And then here's the example they give. Black respectability politics embraces the illusion of a level of economic playing field. Respectability politics place blame on groups already hindered by discrimination. How I describe, you know what I'm saying, respectability politics is when you believe that if black people just pull their pants up, stop calling each other N-words, and stop listening to rap music, we'll be all right. That's respectability politics, where you believe that if we appeal to the standards of mainstream America, then they will see our humanity instead of just trying to challenge the shit, you feel me, that justify them taking away our humanity. Because then respectability politics also don't work because you get to ignore niggas like Malcolm X and niggas like Martin Luther King. They got murdered, you know what I'm saying, one way or another, still engaging in respectability politics that you say we have to conform to now. You feel me? They didn't call
they said don't be. They said be King, not Malcolm, but they killed both of them.
Kill both of them.
It don't make sense.
It's just like respectability politics is ultimately victim blaming that allows for the perpetuator and the abuser or the culture and the practices of oppression get away, and you believe that, hey man, if black people just assimilated with white folks even more, it made white people feel comfortable. If you learn how to be able to, you know, adjust in the white world, then you'll be better. That's respectability politics.
Now we ain't gonna stay in too much longer.
Yeah, we ain't staying too much longer.
Shout out to Noel. But the last question is, George, have you seen Meg Thee Stallion new video? I haven't seen her new video, but I do want to say this: niggas that fuck with Tory Lanez, I don't fuck with. The baby, the little bit, whatever, that's some sucker shit. Like y'all, like niggas will justify any fucking thing, bro, and niggas will like say fuck a standard, like. And that's the biggest issue that I have with like popularity and popular shit and being the cool and the in crowd, because it allows it, like, people coalesce around that bullshit. And if you can attach yourself to that fame and all that other shit, niggas can run off with that and justify the shit that you do. Because niggas want to be your friend. You still got some type of value or whatever. I didn't even think Tory Lanez was ever that fucking big of an artist for niggas to even cut for that nigga like this shit. He really not shit with auto tunes. The nigga can rap a little bit, you feel me? But outside of that shit, like, that nigga is not a key part of the motherfucking hip hop culture to justify being a nigga in rap in this fucking era, shooting a woman in the foot. Niggas in rap music, hip hop culture already has a lot that we gotta account for and be better at when it comes to black women and violence. The last thing niggas need moving into an age where people are more aware. Fuck woke. Like white people done already took that shit and ran with that shit. When niggas are more aware, moving into that era, it ain't no reason why we should be left behind as a fucking people, as a culture. That shouldn't be on the, like, it shouldn't be woke rap and all that. That shit shouldn't be fringe. Like, as a people, we should reflect more so, our culture should reflect more so of the growth that we've had in understanding how important black women are to our fucking community. So it baffles me every day that that people do what they do and justify what they justify with this nigga Tory Lanez. Go ahead, bro.
Man, I haven't seen the video, but I've seen parts of the video that's been controversial about her allegedly running over a politician that a politician believes could be her. I don't have no comments on that. I believe that a lot of people that always want to talk about free speech and censoring and cancel culture that's conservative contradictions for y'all that don't know. And I say it's conservative contradictions. As for the Tory Lanez shit, you feel me, and the baby, and you know what I'm saying, this is what I say about that. You feel me? I also believe there's some contradicting shit too. I believe that the culture of rap music calls for loyalty amongst niggas to make them pick a side for doing far less than what Tory did to Megan. And I'll leave it at that. You feel me? Like, I know niggas spent the block and niggas then chose to do way more to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna think did that to them. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Or I know people have done a whole lot more in response for a whole lot less than what Tory Lanez did. So the fact that she got really shot and it's like being, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. So glad that y'all was able to join us for this quick Ask the Chop Up session. Everybody that asked questions.
Yeah, one more question though. Noel asked, is performative allyship the white version of respectability? And I'm not sure.
Nah.
Yeah, nah.
Well, actually,
Think about it. I'm not sure. Nah, yeah, I'm not sure.
So I would take it out of respectability and put it more so in like white allyship. More has to do with like progressive value systems. You feel me? Because when you because of the ideological differences, the way, you know what I'm saying, how shit is understood, you have.
Hey, she right though. Yeah, it is. It is. Then it is. Hell, Noel. Hell yeah, it is. White folks now play allyship to come out as respectable.
But in a more liberal, because like for example, when black people are told to be respectable, it's to be conservative. When white people, but it's opposite for white people. Like today, to be respectable, you got to be more progressive.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like
but also too, in terms of mainstream, because when you look the definition up, it's about appealing to mainstream. And now that allyship has become more mainstream, I would say, yeah, definitely. It's just that's what it manifests to itself for white people.
Yeah. But I need to watch this.
Now it's like everybody has to put Black Lives Matter. Everybody has to put, you know what I'm saying, hashtag like Power Fist, or everybody had to, you know what I'm saying, show that I'm also along with the times, Damo.
Woke. I'm woke.
I'm woke too, Damo. Yeah. I'm respectable. I'm not a racist.
Yeah.
And the usual point of allyship is how you go about proving that you're not a racist.
Yeah, so it is. So it would, yes, that is.
So yeah, think about it. Think about it. But I feel like only from that perspective, though.
Yeah. But I think I do need to watch this video, because they talking about niggas is pulling a Karen, talking about they feel for their life, and all this from her video. So I'm gonna see what she's talking about. We made the chop up. We may pop up live again when we got the opportunity. It'll probably be me and Toya coming up soon. But I will let y'all know. We'll get back to our schedule. You know what I'm saying? But it's summertime. We kicking it. Thank you for everybody that was able to join. Thank you for everybody that asked questions. Make sure y'all subscribe to the page. We gotta end the show the same way we start the show. We out.
Me, my guys, we really live. Lord, forgive me, pay my tithes. Please don't have me reach inside. And that's in the console. Keep the semi when I ride. Lit off Henny when I drive. In the